Hello,
everyone.
everyone.
Welcome to the Spirit Lounge podcast with me, David,
And me, Glenda.
and we are psychic mediums from both sides of the pond.
I'm in Australia,
And I'm in the UK.
and we're joining forces to discuss and talk about the world of psychics, mediumship, and all things spiritual. We might even throw some random life topics in there too.
So come with us now on our podcast journey. Let's see what's happening in the Spirit Lounge for today's episode. Hello, listeners, and welcome back to the Spirit Lounge. I am here with Glenda, as always. Hello, Glenda.
Hi, David. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is well this week. I'm a bit excited to finish off this last series that we've got happening that we started, David. What's this, number 3, is it?
This is part 3 of the shit that psychics and mediums say. And so this episode is more about, some of it's going to be like terminologies that I use, which I feel need to change, but also just some mindsets that some psychics have as well, or mediums have as well. So I just want to touch on that. So the first thing is when mediums say, well, it's genetic, it runs in families. Now, whilst I believe that, no, that is correct, it can do. Because I know for yourself, Glenda, you come from a line of psychic women, don't you? Is it just the women
Yeah, I
or the
sure
men as
do.
well?
Men as well. Yeah. Yeah. Both. Both. Yeah.
Okay.
Psychic men, women. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that. So I know that's true. It can be genetic. Um, but it's not always. And the reason I'm saying that is because it feels to me like some mediums will put that out there to make it sound like it's some kind of special ability that only certain people are allowed to have. So you can only have the psychic ability if it runs in your family. Now, again, it can run in families, as you have, we've spoken about, and I know other psychics as well, or mediums, where it also runs in their family. But it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to run in your family to be a psychic or medium. And I'm saying that because there are no other, and I've done my family history for a long time. So I'm the one in the family that does all the family tree stuff. And I've gone back to the 1600s, and I've not found a singular family member who had this ability. Not that I can find, I know, look, we're not going to find out every single thing going back to those times, but there's no one in my immediate family who does this work, whether it be psychic or medium. So I know that I am alone in this, not in a dramatic way, but there's no one else in my family that does it. Now, I do come from women who are very intuitive. My mum's very intuitive, so is my aunt. Apparently, I was told by another medium who I do trust, Grace Grella, over in the US. I've been on her show a couple of times. She brought out my aunt Mag, and my aunt Mag was my nan's sister, so my great aunt. And I know my mum had said to me at one point that my aunt Mag had said something to her many, many years ago, which has been absolutely correct. So it's almost like a prediction, but she wasn't a quote unquote psychic. So from my point of view, we have different experiences, me and Glenda. I don't come from a line of psychics, but I still do the work. And I'm saying that because if you are someone who is developing and you, like me, you don't have anyone else in your family who does the work, it does not mean that you shouldn't be doing the work. And I'm putting that across because there's so many of these psychics, mediums out there who are teaching people and saying, well, it has to come through your family, and you have to come from no, you don't have to come from a family of psychics or mediums.
Yeah.
You can just be uniquely you, and you might be the unique one in the family who happens to be that psychic or that medium.
Yeah,
right?
that's
So
right.
just keep that. Again, if you look within your own family, you might have people in your family who are uniquely doing something by themselves, right?
Yeah.
Um, whether it be a spiritual thing or a non-spiritual thing, right? My sister's the only one in the family who owns her own veterinary practice. She's the one that works with the animals. I don't know anyone else in my family who does that, for example. My brother
Yeah.
works for Formula One, Aston Martin. No one else in the family does that. So they are uniquely them, right? My dad
Yeah.
was not a car engineer. no, my mum wasn't a veterinary nurse. So we've all three of us as siblings have done something completely different to what anyone else has ever done in the family before us. And
Yeah.
so these things do not need to be genetic. So I want to say that because I think there's too much of this. In order to be a medium, it has to come down your family, and you it's like no, piss off. Um, just makes them look a bit. I think for me, it comes across as if I'm really special because I'm the fourth one in line to do this. I mean, now, come on, let's come off your
Yeah.
pedestal. Let's come off your pedestal for a minute, shall we? Just get on with the bloody job in hand.
There's a couple I've noticed I follow a couple of American mediums and they do a lot of that sort of stuff. I've noticed there's one that I follow. She she said that she is one David's laughing. She she's second generation such and such medium, and I'm like, oh, okay, so now we're going generation, second generation, third generation. So yeah, people do use it. I have seen it a
Yes,
lot.
and let's stop it.
Stop it, people. David doesn't like it.
Yeah, stop it. I'm gonna come and slap you. I'm gonna slap you about, poke you in the eye. Anyway, um, not that I'm violent, you understand. Now let's see. What else did I want to talk? Oh, right, terminologies here. Light worker.
Yeah, I'm a
Now,
bit over that one.
I I've got I've got no issue really with if you want to call yourself a light worker, then obviously feel free to do that. Um, but for me, I'm not changing fucking light bulbs for a living. I am talking to dead people. I am whatever else
Yeah.
I'm doing, healing, whatever it might
It
be.
should be we should be called dead workers.
Yeah, dead work. If anything, yeah, dead workers. That's very good. Good point.
So what are you doing? I'm a dead worker.
I'm a dead worker. Try explaining that one. But I think that's better than saying, "Oh, I'm a light worker." Because what does that mean? I'm not working in like a lighting department of a department store. Sorry. Um,
No.
I mean, I get why people use it, but it's just a little bit. I don't know. For me, these things are a bit too airy fairy and a bit too. Let's get the sick bucket out and all that kind. It's just
It
a bit
is.
too sickly for me. Look, I know why people say it because we are working in the in. I don't even like saying this. Working in the lights. But to me, that's obvious. That's what we should be doing. So why? Um, so why do we need to say? No, I don't know. I'm a medium. I'm a spiritual medium.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I just think lights were. I don't know. It sounds a bit too. I don't know. A bit too airy fairy
Well,
for me.
I've asked Google and Google says that it's that we transmute darkness into light. So
Yeah, but I don't even
we
understand
link
that
with
though, because we're not. Because whoever I
I
speak to in
know.
spirit is not coming from a dark place, are they? So I'm not transmuting nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm
So
translating, and but not
light
transmute.
workers often that Google says light workers often feel like they were born to help, uplift, and awaken others. Be fucked if I was born to help. I was trying to survive myself.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't born to do this work. We weren't born to do this work. It just fell in our laps. We weren't born
Hmm.
to just go, right, we're taking this on. Like, so there you
Just to be
go,
clear,
David.
I'm not offended by it. It's just I feel like it we get to a point where we I don't know. I'm not saying I'm doing it for the skeptics, but I can understand why skeptics look at us and laugh because of
Yeah.
terminologies like this. I
Yeah.
just want to say, let's bring it down to earth. Let's be real about it. Let's really talk about what we do rather than describe it as light work. I just can't go with it. But that's just my personal opinion. But if you want to call yourself that, carry on. So I'm not offended by it, but I just feel like
No.
it's I don't know, it's been more up to date with what
It
we're
is.
doing and
It
really
is
explaining what
airy
we're doing.
fairy.
It's a bit too that.
It is.
Yeah.
We'll just call each other the dead workers. So
Yeah, dead workers. What do you do? Dead work.
I'm a dead worker. A
I'm a dead
what?
worker.
I work with
Do you know
dead
what?
people.
Yeah, when we do. But you know, as I'm saying that, what also was just dropped in my head, which I didn't write down, this one I forgot, I think, is even the term psychic medium, and it's not to offend, right? Because I know a lot of people, I have a lot of friends like Bill, like yourself, like many others who refers to himself as being a psychic medium. Now,
Mm.
I don't personally call myself that because most of the work that I do is mediumship, which is why I call myself just David H. Medium or David Hale Spiritual Medium, because that's the work
Yeah,
that I do. And if we look at that term psychic medium, I understand why people call themselves that because if you do psychic work and mediumship, then that explains what you do. However, if all mediums are psychic, what's the point in putting psychic in front of the medium?
I know.
Because we always say mediums are both psychic and medium, but not all psychics are mediums. So obviously, if you
Eh,
weren't a medium, you'd call yourself Glenda Marie psychic, right? So and that's so I
exactly,
get
but
that,
they don't. They don't.
but
They say they're psychic mediums, and they, well, can you give me mediumship? No, I don't do that. Well, why are you a psychic medium then?
that's it. But it's the same
It's
as if you're
frustrating, but
a lot of the mediums that I
it's
know, like who work in churches, they don't do a lot of psychic work. They only do mediumship. So then why call yourself a psychic medium? But again, if the
yeah.
psychic is part of medium, why don't you just call yourself medium? If you can do psychic as well, then why put the psychic in there? It's just
I
these thoughts that
know.
go. This is like I'm not saying people shouldn't call themselves that. It's just these thoughts that go in my head. Is because for me, it's just it seems to be overused, and I think it's only because of social media where everyone is suddenly a psychic medium this, psychic medium that, psychic medium, and it's like I don't know if people truly understand what we're talking about here, or if they are truly representing what they do. So because I don't do a lot of psychic work, I don't put psychic in my title. I do it because I do offer psychic readings, but the majority of
Mm.
my the work that I do is, as I say, is mediumship. So that's why I don't include psychic in my title. But then I know a lot of psychic mediums who don't do a lot of psychic work, but still call themselves a psychic medium. I just think
Same.
I don't know. It's just it's
It's
not trying to.
confusing.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be what's the word like uppity about it or snobby because I don't care if you call yourself that. But I just think when it's thrown about so much these days, I always think about,
Mm.
well, actually, what are you offering? Because I think it's important. Whatever you
Yeah.
call yourself represent what you offer.
But you know the other one that gets on my goat is intuitive. Everyone's put intuitive in front of everything.
Yeah, it's
Intuitive accountant, an intuitive accountant. What the fuck are you going to intuit in my fucking numbers? I don't get it. It's like, really? Like they're putting intuitive in front of everything. We're all intuitive, but it doesn't, it just does my head in. I don't understand why we have to put intuitive in front of everything.
now, and also that's why I don't call myself a clairvoyant medium because I'm not.
Oh, yeah, I see that a lot too.
I use all my senses, and
Same.
I think by putting that, just call yourself what it is, which is you are a medium. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Their clairvoyance and everything else that goes with it. That's just the process. So I don't know. So it's just a little thing I have in my head. Like I wonder why
But then
people
if
call
we,
themselves these things.
but then okay, if we're going to break that down, are you a psychic medium if you're only reading tarot cards
Well,
and you're not
absolutely
doing
not.
mediumship? Well, there you go. But they're saying that they're psychic mediums. Well,
Yeah.
but you take those tarot cards away, you can't give me a reading. You should be able to tune into someone without any type of tool and give someone a reading.
Yeah. Same that, yeah, if you are, that's a good point. If you are a tarot reader, it doesn't make you psychic, it just makes you a tarot reader.
No,
But people are calling
that's
themselves a
right.
psychic, although they just do tarot. Now,
That
I love
that's right.
tarot, so I've got nothing against this is
Same.
not nothing against tarot at all. But you have to
No, not at
understand if
all.
you that there are people who are just card readers, doesn't mean they're
That's
psychic.
right.
There are people out there who are great at just reading the cards and they're great at doing it. I'm not. I tend to tune in intuitively and ignore the cards altogether.
Yeah,
um, but if you just read tarot cards, doesn't make you psychic. It just means you are a tarot reader.
that's
So it's
right.
just for me, it's just I'm just a stickler for whatever I offer. I need to make sure that whatever's in my title, people are clear about what they're getting. so they know what I offer. So people know that if they want a deep psychic reading, although I do them, my work is mainly mediumship. But without putting
That's
myself
right.
out of a job here, but it's just
No,
important that you represent what you're what you're
what
what
you're
you're really
offering,
doing.
and
Yeah.
and um and that's what, like, I had a student
Hmm.
reach out and say, oh, I want to step out and I want to give myself a name, and can I just call myself a medium? And I'm like, you can call yourself whatever you want as long as you can back it up.
Absolutely.
As long as you can back it up.
Hmm.
If you can't back up what you're offering, you shouldn't be calling yourself that.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, if I'm looking to book someone for a reading and you've got psychic medium there, you want to be giving me both
Yeah.
of whatever I'm paying for, you want to be able to give that to me,
Absolutely. Yeah.
because I'm going to walk away fully disappointed and kicked in the guts that I never heard from my loved one.
Hmm. Absolutely. And while we're
So
talking
I
about
think
psychic and intuition and clairvoyance, I've got another bit of a bugbear here as well. I sound like a miserable old
okay,
bastard, don't I, in these episodes?
you little
Uh,
biatch.
so,
That's what
Eve,
happens when you turn 46.
how fucking dare you? How very fucking dare you? Um, anyhow,
Go back
um,
to 43.
that's 43. Thank you. That's slightly better. Um,
Mhm.
right, evening of clairvoyance. Now, why do I not agree with this? Let me tell you. So, this is
Oh, yeah.
actually, yeah, this it's an old term, which churches still use when they're advertising an evening of mediumship, which is what you're doing, but they advertise it as an evening of clairvoyance. Um,
Yeah.
so this is why I don't agree with it, because for me, this is how I see it. Clairvoyance is one way in which we receive information, as you know. So we
Yeah.
receive things clairvoyantly, clairaudiently, clairsentiently, claircognizance, clairalliance,
Uh,
clairgustance, and some other ones there
Gardens,
as
the
well.
whole lot.
Yeah, so that is the process of how we receive information. So for clairvoyance, many people know this anyway, is that we will receive information in image form, whether it be pictures or
Mhm.
videos or symbols in our minds. That's how we receive information. Um, so when it's advertised as the evening of clairvoyance, I'm not working clairvoyantly. I'm using all of, because mediumship is a sensory experience. You're using
Yeah.
all of your senses to get the information across. So what I'm actually doing an evening of mediumship, but their clairvoyance and their clairaudience is the process to get me to be able to do that. But I
Mm.
think their term clairvoyance comes from, because obviously if you back in the day, if you said I'm going to see a clairvoyant, that would say to people, I'm going to see someone who looks at my future, which is then psychic. So again, there's
Yeah.
another contradiction in there, that when I'm on platform doing a demonstration of mediumship, I'm not doing psychic. So it's not clairvoyance to me. So I just feel
Yeah.
that as we've evolved and hopefully as we've learned more as a community, that really needs to stop. And hopefully change it from an evening of clairvoyance to an evening of mediumship, because that's what you're going to watch. I'm not stood there reading people's futures. But I think it's one of those
Right.
old terms which has followed us through since the 1800s through to now. And it's like, well, it needs to change, because for me, clairvoyance it's not being used correctly in that term.
No. It's
That's
it's
just my little
misleading
bugbear.
people.
Yeah, and if people don't understand what you're actually doing, because again, back as I just said, many people will think of clairvoyance as someone who sees into the future, but that's not what you're doing when you're doing mediumship. You're speaking
That's
to dead
right.
people, and so I just think,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, it's just about the education, I suppose, and yeah, I don't. Whenever I see, oh, David Hale's doing an evening of clairvoyance, think, no, I'm not. I'm doing an evening of mediumship. But it's not down to me. If
Okay.
it was my event, it would be an evening of mediumship. But yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately, you've got some um, old school
Yeah. But you
mindsets
see it a
there.
lot. But you even see people advertise it. Betty May or whatever, or I'm just making up a name, clairvoyance. Is that all that you're going to offer? That's it. What about the rest of it?
Yeah,
Are you going to drop all the other side, your other senses when I come along?
yeah,
Maybe we're just being picky in it. It is very old fashioned. Clairvoyant is very old fashioned.
it's very old fashioned.
Same as
It's
same as an oracle. I mean, who even uses that anymore? I
oh,
remember
there are
one
people
woman
who
that
use
used
that.
it.
Yeah.
They are, and it's
Oh
like
God.
oracle. Well, fuck, you'd want to back it up if you're an oracle with
Oracle,
other old.
absolutely. Because Oracle says to
Oh,
me, you are tuned straight into source. And if that's the case, I want you to give me, you know, my inside leg measurement, what's happening now, what's going to happen in the future. I want it to be spot on. I want to be told exactly what's going to happen here. I want the lottery numbers, and all that kind of
absolutely.
stuff. Do you know what I mean? So,
And the only person I know that calls themselves an oracle is very far from it.
oh dear,
She ain't got anything. Bless
oh
her.
dear, yeah.
I know.
So it's
So
using
yeah,
terminologies correctly, people.
yeah.
Um, what's the other one? Um, oh, this is what I wanted to say as well. It's something I witnessed a couple of weeks ago. Um, it was an online service, and the medium was not going direct; they were going indirect, which is how I work. And our chair lady of who was who's chairing the event had put a hand up to say to take the information. And the answer was, let me see, because I don't normally go to a chairperson. And I sat there thinking, why?
What? Yeah,
Are
why?
they not good enough all of a sudden? They're
Are
still
they
here.
not worthy of a
Are they not
message?
worthy of a message? But it
Hmm.
happens in churches where
Does it?
the medium working will purposely not go to the chair. And actually, because of that kind of training, I don't know, this inbuilt thing, that chairs, although they can take the message, won't always put their hand up either. And I say I'm very honest when I do my demonstration. I'm honest anyway, as you know. But when I do a demonstration, if I'm giving out something and no one in the audience can take it, but the chair is next to me and I can sometimes feel a pull there, I look at them. I say, "Can you take this?" And they will say, "Yes, but I didn't want to take the message from anybody." I'm like, right, let's make this very clear. So I don't care who I work with, right? Do you think Spirit cares who is sat in front of me or sat by the side of me? No. If they've got a message to get to someone, they're going to use me to get it, whether you're sat in the front of me or sat by the side of me. So if you're a chairperson, you are getting the message. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
You are not excluded from this experience just because you're a chairperson. Because to me, to then send Spirit away to say, also, I can't give the message because they're a chairperson, is that not disrespectful and dismissing that Spirit person has given all that energy and worked really hard to give that message across? So
Absolutely. It's so wrong. Oh my
honestly,
goodness.
and when that happened online, I was like, hang on a second, she's still a human who, like everybody else here, is probably wanting to hear from a loved one. Whether they're a
Yeah.
medium or you don't know in the audience who is a medium and who's not. Because if the mindset is, oh, she's a medium, she don't need it, then you've got the wrong bloody mindset.
Far out.
So that really surprised me, and that really annoys me because she's still a person who still has people in
Yeah.
the spirit world, and so
Yeah.
that mindset I just think is wrong. It needs to change. I don't care who you are. That's just my
I've
opinion.
seen, well, I mean, look at Teresa's computer. She gives people backstage if they're just standing there reading and
Yeah,
they're not in the crowd. I mean, I
could be the
think I've
cameraman.
been to one. Yeah, I think it was one of Peter Williams. He gave one of the ushers in the movie theater that was just standing there reading. I'm sure it was Peter Williams that I was at. And the people just standing there that help guide you to the seat,
Yeah,
the ushers at a movie. Yeah, at the theater. I'm sure that he gave someone standing there like a message. I mean, it's whoever comes through at the end of the day, like
Yeah. Why
It's
exclude them?
indirect. It's indirect. Yeah, exactly. It's
Why
like,
exclude them?
no,
They're
you're
still
not good enough to get a message.
that's basically what
You're
it's
just going
saying
to cut
is
off, yeah, cutting
you're
off
just gonna you're just
spirit.
gonna cut them off. I just think it's terrible, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it's not on.
No.
But I guess I don't know. Is that the rules of the churches that they are
I
not
don't know. I don't know
entitled to
if
it?
it's this ingrained old school mentality. I don't know, but I don't put up with it. So if it goes to a chairperson, I give it to a chairperson. I'm not suddenly going to say, "Oh, sorry, I can't give it to you. Let's move on to the next message." So I get someone in the audience. No, no, I'm not
Yeah,
going to stand there and do that. How disrespectful is that? No. So
yeah,
yeah, so that kind of behaviour needs to stop. Um,
big time.
Also talking about, I spoke about this to someone else the other day. It's this whole thing about if you're nervous, it means you care, which I agree with. But I've got a point to add to that as well. So, as we know, we're going to do DEMS and things like that. We do get a bit nervous. And if I'm a bit overly nervous, people say to me, it's all right, nerves are good. It means you care. And I do believe that.
Yeah,
But at the same time, if you're not nervous, it doesn't mean that you don't care. And I want
yeah,
to make it clear to people listening, because I've been in this headspace as well. Now, firstly, we know mediums like George the Medium, Dominic Bogue, who we've had on, and certain others have told us when we've asked them that they're not nervous before their DEMs because they trust spirit's going to be there and they trust that they're there to do a job, right? So they're not nervous anymore.
yeah.
And that's fine. And I've experienced that recently. So since those 4 DEMs that I did back to back, which we've already spoken about, for the other DEMs that I've done recently, I've not been very nervous actually. And I've gone to the
Mm.
DEMs and I thought, oh, but it feels very odd because I normally am nervous. You might have the odd butterfly, but I'm not as nervous as anywhere near as nervous as I was, and I go in quite relaxed. And rightly or wrongly, I say to myself, why am I not nervous? I almost beat myself up for not being nervous because this ingrained mentality of if you are nervous, it means you care. So when I'm not nervous, I think to myself, does it mean I'm getting too complacent then, or I don't care enough? And that's not the case. I think what you have to do at some point, if you're doing this um, as your job, you need to get to a point where you go to your job and you are confident and comfortable in what you're doing. And I think that's where the nerves start to ease off, is where you finally find your feet and you find that new space that you're in on a platform to be comfortable. As we said
Yeah.
on a previous episode, is that no one should ever go to their job 5 days a week feeling nervous.
Mm.
We should be able to go to our job feeling comfortable. And so I'm now starting to do my
But
demonstrations without being nervous. And I find that the demonstrations go a lot better because my mind is so much clearer because I'm not in my own head about what if this goes wrong, what if that don't happen. I'm going in with the mindset of, right, I know I can do it. I've done it for a while now and it's going to be good. And we'll just get on with the evening and see what happens. And it happens
well
a lot
done.
better than it does when I was being really, really nervous. Doesn't mean I don't care. It means that I just feel more comfortable in that space and that the information is flowing a lot better. But there's a difference if you are someone who's not nervous and who's up your own arse and who says things like, I'm the best, I'm better than everybody else, I'm going to be fabulous, and that other person who's done it before is not very good. That's arrogance. That's very different
Mm.
to just going along saying, yeah, I don't feel too nervous. I feel quite relaxed this evening and it's going to be a good night. That's very different
Yeah,
to being up your own
yeah,
arse and thinking you're the best and everything else.
yeah. I must admit, I've got my event tomorrow, and I'm not nervous. I'm just going to do my job. I'm going to do the work, and I trust in spirit. And remember, we talk about like when we have our breaks and we have holidays, and we're always a little bit like anxious and nervous going back to work. We we put it down to it's because we've just had that break from spirit because we're used to reading every day, connecting with spirit every day, and then you have this
Yeah.
break and we're disconnected from doing it. We feel a little bit like, oh, can I still do this? Sure enough, yes, you can. It all flows. It all happens. You just got to get on with it. You know what I mean? Stop overthinking it. We're the ones that overthink it. Um, but yeah, I think yeah, like you said, it just comes with time and confidence with yourself.
Yeah.
And if you're getting up and absolutely shitting bricks before every damn, you're not enjoying it at the end of the day. Like, why are you putting yourself through it? Why
Yeah.
why are you going through all of this? Because, like you said, you don't go to your workplace nervous every day. But at the same time, you go to your workplace and you know what to expect usually. You know
That's
who you're
it.
going to work with
That's the
every day.
difference. Yeah.
There's a difference. You're turning up on stage, not knowing what's going to happen,
Yeah.
not knowing who's going to come through, hoping it comes through. But when didn't it work? Tell me when
That's
it
it.
didn't work.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
I
it.
want to hear. I want to hear when you stood up there. And I'd love to have a medium on to say, I stood up there and fuck, I got nothing.
Yeah.
I walked off. I guarantee, I guarantee it just doesn't work like that because spirit always show up,
Yeah.
spirit always there. And we say to people all the time, your loved ones are beside you all the time. Well, if they're beside you all the time, why aren't they showing up?
Yeah.
They do.
I think that's the
They
biggest fear
do.
that I had that kept me held back because again, I don't know if it's people trying to bring it down a peg or two, but many mediums said to me, "Well, it can always happen that no one comes through, you know." And so rather than them say, "Oh, it'll be all right," and spirit will always be there, you've got these same mediums who say that the opposite, and it almost kept me locked in this fear state of, well, then actually, what if that does happen? And then it makes you even
Mm,
more nervous because you've paid too much attention to the experience of someone else. Just because that's the experience of another medium does not mean that's going to be your experience. And because just because they
yeah,
stood there and nothing happened doesn't mean it's going to doesn't mean it's going to happen to me. But I did hang on to that for a long time, almost waiting for something to go wrong or something not to happen. But now I've let go of that through experience and a lot of learning and things like that is that I can now go, well, actually, it's not necessarily happened to me because when I do get up there, something always happens. But that's taken me 9 years to get into that mindset. So
yeah,
for
and
anyone
it
that's
takes,
this, yeah, it takes a while. So anyone that's listening and learning or developing their platform mediumship, you know, things come in time and you are going to be nervous. And although I'm saying the last few demos I've done, I've not been nervous for, there are going to be things coming up for me next year, which I'm going to shit in bricks about. So I'm not saying that my nerves are
mm,
going to go completely because every new experience brings its nerves.
yeah,
And so, actually, to be clear, the demonstrations that I've done recently have been at places that I've been to before. So, again, there's already a comfortability there. But new experiences, I know I'm going to be like, oh my God, what am I doing here? So I know that's going
yeah.
to happen. But again, you have to come to a place where, for me, my nerves affect my stomach, and I don't think it's healthy to be shitting through the eye of a needle 5 days a week. Do you? I think
No.
I think that's a healthy place
Unless
to be.
unless you go to no, unless you go to Bali like me and yeah, that shit
And
happens.
get the barley belly. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, so if you're listening, if you're nervous, it's absolutely normal, right? And
yeah,
it's just learning to turn those sickly nerves into more excitable nerves. And if you're
yeah,
not nervous, that's also okay. But make sure that you're come from a place of being humble and being grounded and just saying, right, we can do it. We know we can do it. We've done it before. It's not gone wrong before. Let's just be excited about what can potentially happen. And that's the place you want to be at. You don't want to be at the place of, well, I'm here and I'm the best and I'm going to be great and spirit always and I'm always correct. And some of those mediums you've had on before, they've been a bit dodgy, but I'm better than them. That is arrogance. That's not the place you want to work from. So
yeah,
the best mediumship comes from getting out of your way, getting out of spirit's way, as they say, get out of my way. And that's just making sure your mindset is shifted to the spirit world. You put your own stuff aside, you got out of your own way and just allow spirit to come through. And that's where the magic happens, just relaxing into it and just allowing it to happen. and being excited about it as well. And that's the point, is being excited about it. As you said, Glenda, you never not want to be up there and not enjoy it. You don't want to be doing that. You want to be up there and enjoying the experience. And that's what I've had to
Yeah,
learn as well.
I had a session with my mentor this morning for my regression work, because I feel like um when, again, like just like mediumship, you go through your development. I feel like, I'm going through my development. I'm learning from all the new um, stuff that's coming up through the regression. So I always talk to my mentor about it, and I go, we'll bounce things with her. And I was talking to her about, I'm just feeling a little bit, just going on a different tangent here, but same sort of thing about mediumship and energy work and that sort of stuff. So, it can be quite draining. And she said to me, that's because you're putting so much emphasis on the outcome. Let go of the outcome.
Mm,
And I thought those fucking words sank so deep to me today. And I feel like whoever is listening to this needs to hear this. Let go of the outcome. We put so much energy into that, and worry and stress, that we get lost in it.
yeah,
So we just need to surrender to it and just see what happens.
yeah,
So, yeah, and it made a lot of sense. And I felt like I
yeah.
just needed to share that, because, again, even with platform work, let go of the outcome, because you can't control it.
Can't control it. No, you just got to do, no, live in that moment and just give what you're
Yeah,
getting and not worry about the at the end of it. Absolutely. And I think that's
yeah,
true for a lot of things in life. Is that I think we focus on the outcome too much, that we miss the process of getting to the outcome. We miss those
yeah,
experiences that we need to have, or meet those people we need to meet, because we're too focused on the outcome, the outcome, the outcome. Yeah, but what about the stuff in between
that's right.
as well?
And, yeah, and I just feel that those words, just someone needs to hear them this week, whoever is listening.
Yeah.
Um, I hope it helps.
And I
So,
think what a
anything
lovely
else, David?
um
A way to end? Yeah.
I think that's a nice way to end that. There was one more thing, but it doesn't really fit with the theme of this episode. Um,
Okay.
but I think that's a nice place to actually finish with that little bit of nugget of wisdom there, Glenda. Very nice.
Alrighty.
So, with that, people, thank you for listening. Now, don't forget, actually, before we go, that on the 14th of December, Glenda, Bill Hughes, and I are doing our special event, where it's going to be an event of mediumship, psychic readings, maybe a bit of a Q&A. 14th of December, which is 10:30 a.m. UK time. I know it's a bit early, but we wanted to do that so we allow our Australian listeners the chance to listen in as well. So it's 10:30 a.m. UK time, and that's going to be on Zoom. And tickets are available to purchase through my website, and I'll try and put the link in the show notes here as well. But yeah, do join us. It's our Christmas event, three of us together. We get to as many people as we can with the messages that come through, but just an uplifting evening, or evening for Australians anyway, morning for the UK people. And hopefully it will be a nice event. So we're going to put obviously a cap on the number of people, so we've not got too many people. So tickets are being sold already, so do get in there. I know it's only November, but it's only almost a month away, so it will go like that. So snap your tickets up. So, people, with that said, I'm going to stop rabbiting on. So, look after yourselves, look after yourself, Glenda, as well.
You too, David. Enjoy your holiday.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you all again in the Spirit Lounge soon.
Thank you so much for joining us in the Spirit Lounge today. We hope you enjoyed the discussion.
Yes, and if there's a spiritual topic you'd like us to discuss, or if there's a spiritual question you'd like our input into, then please send those topics and questions to us at glenda-marie1@hotmail.com, and we will get to them as soon as possible.
Lastly, if you could like and share this podcast, as well as leaving us a comment or review about what you thought, then that would really help us out, and we'd be very grateful.
We would indeed. But it's bye from me.
And it's bye from me.
Join us again soon in the Spirit Lounge.